To prove that given the conjugate lines through the focus of a ellipse is equal to 0 or at right angles. Okay, first of all, here given sorry considered ellipse equation x square by a square plus y square by b square equals to 1. Consider this is equation number 1. Next that here lines are considered suppose lines are considered suppose L1x plus M1y plus N1 equals to 0 and L2x plus M2y plus N2 equals to 0 or conjugate lines. Then or conjugate lines, suppose these two lines are conjugate lines, then satisfying the condition a square L1 L2 plus b square M1 M2 equals to N1 N2. Consider this is equation number 1. S of a comma 0 passes through L1x plus M1y L1x plus M1y plus N1 equals to 0. That implies in place of x means AE, y means 0. Then L1 AE plus 0 plus N1 0, that is L1 AE equals to minus N1. Next that S of AE comma 0 passes through line L2x plus M2y plus N2 equals to 0. Here also in place of x means AE, y means 0. So L2 AE 0, y means 0. So total 0 plus 0 plus N2 equals to 0. Then we are going to write L2 AE equals to minus N2. S of AE comma 0 passes through here this equation 1 passes through equation 1 in equation 1 here a square L1 L2 means a square L1 L2. Here L1 L2 in place of A means substitute AE, in place of B means substitute here 0. Then here A square means, and L1 L2 here this is 0 into M1 M2 equals to N1 N2, that is A square L1 L2 equals to N1 N2. Consider this is equation number 2. Then from 1 and 2 we get from equation 1, and from equation 2 we are going to write LHS or equal. RHS or equal. Now equating equation 1 LHS and equation 2 LHS. From 1 and 2, then a square L1 L2 plus b square m1 m2 plus here equating L1 L2 a square L1 L2 a square e square. In this, from equation 1 and equation 2 RHS are equal. Now equating equation 1 and equation 2 LHS. Okay, now here in these both equations, now equating LHS. Then here next that here write a square L1 L2 a square L1 L2 plus b square m1 m2 here right plus b square m1 m2 equals to a square e square L1 L2. Therefore here now L1 L2 taking common factor a square into minus, so we'll get to transpose LHS, then minus will get e square into common factor L1 L2 plus b square m1 m2 equals to 0. Here a square into 1 minus e square equals to b square. I know that b square, then a square L1 L2 plus b square m1 m2 equals to 0, and a square into here a square b square m1 m2 plus b square L1 L2 b square, this is in place of a square minus a square into 1 minus e square, write b square L1 L2 plus here also b square m1 m2 equals to 0. Okay, now next that write L1 L2 plus m1 m2 equals to 0. L1 L2 plus m1 m2 equals to 0. Therefore L1 L2 equals to minus m1 m2. Now write L1 L2 by m1 m2 equals to minus 1. Now we are going to write L1 by m1 m2 into L2 by m1 m2 equals to minus 1. Therefore the given conjugate lines are focus at right angle. The given conjugate lines are or at right angle. Right angle. Okay, thank you.